So basically what we have planned today is to complete the remaining papers. I already emailed you all, those who were present, and those who are present today, please send your email in the chat so that I could forward you the answers for the multiple choice booklet which you all purchased. Good? And apart from that, some students send me videos. So far, I haven't received any videos from, I think, Hawa, and some others who said they had some videos. Please send it to me on my WhatsApp so that I could save it and play it at the end of the class. All right, so first let us get some people to read. We're going to break up the questions in tens. So I need some volunteers. Obviously, most of you all I'm seeing have a mic. So when it's your turn, you just unmute your mic and you read the questions. And also here are the answers. So the first paper we're going to look at is GCE May-June 2003. Who's reading the first 10?
I'll do it.
All right, Sandra, you go ahead and read the first 10.
Number 1. Which activities occur in all living organisms?
So the answer is they respire, they increase in size, and they excrete waste. Increase in size means growth. Not, now if you read through all these other options, they don't match Grimner. Not all of them just produce oxygen. However, all of them respire. Remember, it have anaerobic respiration. So that is why the answer is D.
Number 2. The diagram shows a microorganism. Which type of microorganism is it? A?
So because of the tail, yeah, it's a bacteria. Well, bacteria means singular, which this is allow it to move. And again, it have 3 walls. You have the cell wall, cell membrane, and you also have a capsule around it. So that is why it's bacteria.
Number 3. The diagram shows an experiment to investigate osmosis. Which statements about the investigation is true?
Okay, so osmosis is the movement of water from high to low. Now, this is actually similar to a question we did. This is a Viscin tube, which basically is like a little plastic bag with holes. So, since this Viscin tube has sucrose, sucrose is a type of sugar. So, water from the beaker will enter the Viscin tube. So, therefore, the water level in the beaker will fall. So, that answer is C. Correct your work.
Number 4. Which process in cells require energy from respiration? A?
A, because this is what you call active transport. That is the only transport process that needs energy. Osmosis and diffusion do not need energy.
5. Which of the animals is the product of photosynthesis in green plants and the source of energy for animals? A. Carbohydrate.
Right, and what is the name of the carbohydrate form from photosynthesis? Glucose, right? Good.
6. The diagram shows a simplified nitrogen cycle. Which process is carried out by nitrogen fixing bacteria?
So nitrogen fixing bacteria takes nitrogen gas in the air and convert it into nitrate, which plants will now use to make protein. All the other options, if you look at it, is not showing that process. The arrow have to face nitrogen as a gas and converting it into another form, which would have been nitrate in this case here. So 6 is D.
Number 7. How is fat used in the body? C. energy source, yes. Growth repair, no. Make cell membranes, yes. Storage, yes.
Very good. Sanjay, did it on your own or you're looking at my answers?
I did it on my own this morning.
All right. Trust what you say.
A food gets a red color in the Benedict's test. The blue color remains with the Bureau test, and a translucent mark is left with the grease spot test. Which nutrients are present in the food?
A, protein. Sorry, 8 is B because look at it. Benedict test, it turned red. That means sugar is present. That's our reducing sugar. Reducing sugar is glucose. If the solution remain blue with the Bureau test, that means it have no protein. And if it have a translucent mark, translucent means some light can pass through. That means it have some grease form on the paper, so therefore it's fat present.
Number 9. Which nutrients eaten in excess will cause obesity? B. Carbohydrates.
Yes, carbohydrates. So pasta, roti, potato, all of those can contribute to obesity as well as fats. Last one.
The diagrams show how the enzyme amylase and maltase break down in starch molecules into smaller molecules. What are the molecules X and Y? C. Maltose and glucose.
Right, so starch is broken down into maltose by amylase, and maltose is broken down by maltase into glucose. See? Okay, thanks a lot for volunteering. We need another volunteer for the next 10. Why not Adonai? Why he don't talk for the last class? I'm going to unmute your mic, Adonai.
I miss.
Why you don't make a little contribution for the last class?
I was talking in the last class.
Where you was talking with your mic off?
No, you asked me a few questions. I answered you. It was like, good job, Adulai.
Adulai?
Whoever the name is, Kwama.
You mean alveoli?
Yeah, that.
All right, number 11. You see it, right?
Excuse me, miss. Number 10 is what?
Number 10 is C. Are you all seeing the answers in the side? I have answers on the side alongside the paper.
Yeah, miss, we seeing them.
All right, good. So now we reach number 11 and Adonai is reading 11 to 20. This is the most you're going to talk for the last class.
What are the functions of the pancreas and the liver? The answer will be 11. For 11, C.
So pancreas is make insulin, and insulin is change glucose to glycogen, which is stored in the liver.
The diagram shows a section through the villi in the intestine. 12, the answer would be B.
Yes, B, glucose, because it points in the blood capillary. If it's the lacteal, which is that dark line, it would have been fats. But it don't have those options in any case. 13.
Which part is A, Mrs. Awid?
Phagocyte.
The answer would be
B.
B.
Yes, because of the lobe-shaped nucleus here. This is our lymphocyte here. This is a red blood cell. And this here is plasma. Number 14. Humpty, battery dead or?
Number 14.
Finish already?
Which two parts transport carbon dioxide? B.
B, both 1 and 4. Carbon dioxide is transported in plasma of the blood.
Number 15. The diagram shows a section through the heart and its associated blood vessel. The answer would be B.
Number 15 is A, aorta.
Oh. Miss, I'm not reading your answers. I read the answers that I had put.
I know that. And B is the pulmonary artery. C is pulmonary vein. D is vena cava. All right? Don't let the heart confuse you all. In real life too.
16. Respiration is D.
Miss, that'll be A.
For respiration?
No, D.
No. D for dog. Because respiration is when you break down food for energy. Breathing would be the movement of air in and out. Gaseous exchange is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the alveoli. So those three terms, people is confused. Respiration deals with energy. So that's D. 17.
The diagram shows some of the structure in the tract showing
Thorax.
the structures used when breathing in. The answer would be C.
C, yeah. 2 and 4. 2 is the external intercostal muscle. 4 is the diaphragm.
The apparatus is set up as shown. The student breathes in and out through tube X for 30 seconds. The answer would be C.
Right, so when you breathe in here, there's a little bit of carbon dioxide which would turn a cloudy color. A cloudy color does basically prove that carbon dioxide is present in lime water. So the one that you're breathing up with the air leaving will have more carbon dioxide. So slightly cloudy and very cloudy. See? I know you all don't really we don't really do multiple choice with these kind of experiments. But learn that one. $19.
19, the answer is C.
So in which positions are hinge joints found? We're looking at the elbow here as well as the knee. So that is C. Last one.
Which action involves anterior somewhere there muscle? The answer would be E. No, C.
Bending the arm. So number 20 is A. Bending the arm because you're using your bicep and your tricep. Those are the antagonistic muscles. All right. So next 10. Who volunteered for that one?
Miss, this is our last class by chance?
Yes, for the term.
That's not good.
When you thought it was?
Like, not today.
All right then. You know it have the extra classes in May, right? You sign up?
Yeah, I did.
So Friday we have class.
This Friday? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And there's only 5 classes left for those who sign up for the May classes. Is 5 classes, huh? starting from this week. It will, some of you all sign up and then some outside students sign up. You can tell your friends and stuff. If you know anybody who went to another school and they need help, tell them to sign up. All right. 21. Who gonna talk now?
Miss, I'll do it.
All right.
Miss, I find we don't hear from Justin Bhutan.
Where Bhutan and Drew? You get Bhutan out of?
He not even in this right now.
Even away to have online class? All right, Emily, you go ahead.
The table below shows substances which may be found in urine, which shows only the substances that are present in the urine of a healthy person. 21 is D.
Right, so you don't want to get rid of protein. You want to get rid of salt. You don't want to get rid of glucose. You want to get rid of urea.
22. The graph shows the air temperature and body temperature during a 24-hour period. Which mechanism may help to maintain the body temperature between 18 hours and 24 hours?
Okay,
D?
sir.
Well, D not shown.
22 would have been D, which is vasoconstriction of arterioles to skin surface capillaries. Now, if you look at this time frame here, you realize the air temperature dropped. So that means it's colder. So if it's cold, your capillaries is going to get narrow, which is vasoconstrict. If less blood flows to the area, less heat is lost. You want to keep the heat in the body since the temperature is low. So that's why it's D. 23.
The drawing shows the front part of two eyes in side view, each adapted to see objects at a different distance from the eye in different light intensities. Which statement is correct? D? No, A.
Right, this could be very confusing if you don't understand your work. Now, they're showing two different things here. It's accommodation and a pupil reflex. Now, accommodation, if you're looking at something close, the lens is going to get thin. Look at this lens. This lens is thin, this lens is fat. If you're looking at something far, the lens will get fat. Now, the catch is, let me actually use some kind of highlight. Let me see. You see in the distance here now, the pupil size is larger here compared to this pupil size in figure Y. So that means if this pupil size is larger, the person would have been in a dim setting, dim light, because the pupil opening to get as much light possible in. And since they're looking at a distant object, it will turn thin. So 23 is A. You have to really learn, you have to absorb that note with accommodation and pupil reflex to figure this one out.
Which is correct for stereoscopic vision? B?
B, this is something that we didn't have to learn for our syllabus. So you all don't have to go on panic when you see this stereoscopic vision. You all can leave out this one when you're learning it. But this is just the answer.
Between which structures does a motor neuron transmit impulses? D.
All right, so the motor neuron does carry the response from the spinal cord to an effector, which is a muscle. D.
The diagram shows part of the female reproductive and urinary system. What are the numbered structures? C. The cervix is 3, oviduct is 1.
Yeah.
3.
And a lot of people get confused with this viewer. This is how it actually is. So just tilt your head to the side. Maybe it will look like the one in your handout. This was a repeat.
The diagram shows a fetus in the uterus. I don't know why I said that. Which statement is true? D.
Right. You all remember this came in the midterm test?
Yes, miss.
That sound like I know. 28.
What is caused by a diet low in vitamin C? D.
Wounds heal more slowly.
The diagram represents stages in reproduction. Which arrow shows stages where mitosis occurs? D. 5 and 6.
All right, so always know that the ovary, the eggs in the ovary, as well as the sperm cells are going to basically divide by a process called meiosis. Meiosis is when the sex cells divide. Now, when these two meet, they form what you call a zygote, which is basically a ball of cells. So remember that video I showed you all in class where the from fertilization leads to implantation and the development of the fetus? Basically, the fetus is growing and growing by cells multiplying and multiplying by mitosis. Last one.
What would be examined to confirm that a person is a typhoid carrier? B.
Right, so for this particular pathogenic disease, which is caused by what? Typhoid is caused by a bacteria or virus?
Bacteria.
Bacteria, right? You just take some sample of the feces itself and you run that through a microscope to determine if the bacteria which causing this disease is present. None of the others will show you if that bacteria is present. Good? Yes, Sophia, you could answer the next 10. I can't wait to show Sophia's video.
31. The drawing shows a house in a tropical region. Which disease are the people living in this house most at risk from a result of features shown? The answer is D.
Right, so where are we getting the typhoid from? What would cause the typhoid here?
The latrine?
The pit latrine, which is close to the well.
Well.
Right? Remember, this guy here is using the well for water. So if that's in close contact now, what will happen? Bacteria will enter the water. What causing the cholera? Well, the same thing will be for cholera too. What causing the malaria now?
The fly infested.
Flies is cause malaria?
I mean, no, it's the pond.
Very good. The pond is stagnant water, so that is breeding ground for mosquito. And the long grass too. What mosquito does cause malaria?
The Anopheles.
Anopheles. Very good. 32.
Which cannot be prevented by healthy living activities? The answer is C.
Right, because this is a genetic or inherited disease, so therefore it's lifelong, cannot be cured. 33. You could go ahead and read 33.
In which two test tubes will the meat broth keep fresh for the longest period of time? The answer is B.
B, all right, because 1, boil and seal with airtight plug, Well, you're boiling it to kill the bacteria. And if you put it in an airtight plug, because it have no air, no bacteria could grow in it. So this is a good method to keep the meat lasting long. Also, 3, now boil and left open is not good. However, if you put it in a fridge, notice the temperature is 0 degrees. So therefore it was in a freezer or something. So that would have kept it long. So the answer is B.
34. After a few days, the meat brought in test tube 5 went bad. Which type of organism is likely to have caused this? The answer is A.
Very good. Bacterium.
35. Which type of organism caused, must I don't know that word.
Yeah, this is not part of our syllabus as well. So for now, you all could skip out this when you're learning your work, because we didn't have to learn about this type of disease. But basically, the answer would have been flatworm, which is a blood fluke, B. So when you're tallying up your answers, leave out 2. So therefore, you'll be out of 38 when you're tallying up.
36. Plates X and Y were inoculated with bacteria at the same time. Plate Y was isolated with fungus. The diagram shows the plates after incubation. What has been released by the fungus to produce this result? The answer is D.
The answer would have been A, antibiotics, because we actually use some fungus to make that drug. We use another type of organism to kill bacteria, which is a fungus. So you all may have heard a type of medication called penicillin. That's actually a fungus. All right.
37. The diagram shows stages in the life cycle of the housefly. Which stage may be found in or on organic refuse? The answer is D.
All of them. So if you notice, if you have some garbage with food, you would realize it will have flies around it, and that fly will lay eggs. And over time, it will hatch into the larva, and then or the maggots, and then eventually the pupa, and then you have new flies being produced. So all of them is found in organic refuse.
38. Why is water boiled to make it safe for drinking? The answer is B.
Yeah, to kill the bacteria or microorganisms.
39. The diagram shows the domestic refuse is treated as a communal site. Which is the most important reason for treating the refuse as shown? The answer is D.
To restrict entry by rats. Mosquitoes tend to prefer areas with stagnant water. You can never reduce the entry of rain because soil will always have pores and rainwater will eventually be absorbed. You just have to have good soil to absorb it. And to prevent escape of gas, no, because they would have had pipes. You all remember the setup of the landfill, they would have had those pipes collecting the gas. So the best answer here is to restrict entry by rats because you all know rats just spread. What type of disease rats just spread?
Leptospirosis.
Yes, very good. All your work. Okay, so let's do the other paper. But we need to get new readers now. So that's GCE 2007, but I had to do that one from scratch. So I want to hear all the answers.
Miss, that one was real hard.
GC papers are harder than the CSEC, but we are preparing in case it brings some kind of, wait, we didn't do this? We didn't do question 40. All right, 40.
The graph shows how the oxygen concentration in a river changes when sewage enters the river. What causes the change shown in the graph just after sewage enters the river? The answer is A.
Yeah, anytime you see the oxygen level is low, that means when the bacteria is taking in oxygen, the bacteria is breather or respire, I should say. So when it's feeding on the sewage, it's using up the oxygen. So it will drop. All right, so we complete this paper. Send me on the chat how much you got out of 38. We eliminated the 2, which is not part of your syllabus. And we will work through 2007 together. However, we need some people to wake up in class and read. Good grades so far from those who message. I guess the ones who didn't message, that means they're not good.
No, miss, I still counting up. Miss, we excluding 2 questions, so it'll be out of 38, right?
38, yeah.
Okay.
Now the next set of readers, I want to hear from Bala for the first 10, Sarenta for the second 10, Kashida, next 10, and then the last 10 will be Reagan. You all heard the order?
Yes, miss.
Wonderful. So anytime Mr. Bala ready?
1. The diagram shows 4 types of cells found in organisms. Which cell moves around the inside of an organism but is not capable of locomotion? Which is correctly described?
No, we didn't get the answer. Which cell moves
Okay.
inside an organism but is not capable? Locomotion is movement from one area to the next. So, is it the chloroplast?
I have D.
No. Cytoplasm with hemoglobin? No. This one, D. All right, next one.
Which is correctly described? A. A bacterium has a nucleus and no protein coat. B. A pathocyte has a cell membrane and no nucleus. C. A red blood cell has a nucleus and a cell membrane. D. A virus has protein coat and no nucleus.
Right.
I had D.
D, a virus has a protein coat and no nucleus. That's correct. But isn't this pertaining to these diagrams? No, this is not pertaining to
Yeah, at first I thought that was connected.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so yes, the answer is D.
Three, the apparatus was set up as below.
Okay, so which diagram shows the result? Let me zoom in. After 2 hours. So you have the same viscosity, they like this tube, eh? So again, it's a plastic bag with tiny, tiny holes. So it's 10% sugar, distilled water. So if you leave this after 2 hours, water from the container will enter this tube. So we're looking for one that is swollen. Let's see.
Miss B. Because it's
Looking
more
like
upright.
here. It tied, it have a metal support. Looking at A as well. Which one looking bigger?
B, because it it curved.
But the water in the container is supposed to drop a bit. This water here going up. This water looking higher. This one looking lower here. Alright, so the best answer there is B. Number 4.
The following is a list of organs in the human body, which form part of the same system.
Okay,
A.
oviduct, ovary, uterus. Do we have 1, 2, and 5? Yes, A.
Which arrow of the diagram of a leaf represents the movement of oxygen during photosynthesis?
So oxygen leaves the leaf. That's a byproduct.
So C.
C is the answer.
6. Which diagram shows a simple carbon cycle?
Alright, so first you will have carbon dioxide as a gas. Now, who takes in carbon dioxide? Green plants. So the arrow should face green plants. Then sheep feeds on green plants and human feed on sheep. So this one making sense. See, humans don't take in carbon dioxide. So this one wrong.
Seven. A portion of cooked rice was tested by adding iodine solution to it. A second portion was heated with Benedict solution. Which two colors would be seen ticked if the test tubes at the end of the experiment?
So you all have to go through your food tests. There are 4 food tests. I showed you all the videos with the setup, the steps.
Miss, I had is either B or D. I couldn't figure out which one. I know that the blue and black would have a tick, but I wasn't sure. So it's either between B and
Well, if
D.
it's blue and black, that means it have iodine, right? So let's see, portion of cooked rice. Cooked rice is a starch. So it definitely
Right, so
blue,
the
black.
tick.
And then the second portion, now if you completely break down rice, you get sugar. So therefore the Benedict test, you would have a, let me see. Oh, they didn't have one with that.
Yeah, so I was confused.
Something wrong here in this question. Cooked rice. So iodine will turn blue black. Protein in rice? No. Nope. So no harm. Which two colors will be seen in the test tubes at the end of the experiment? Something is wrong with the options. It's supposed to be a tick by blue black and a tick by red.
Oh,
So it's capital errors. Let me see what's the best answer.
B might be the best answer. Blue, black, and brown.
Now they say which two colors will be seen at the end of the experiment. So if you boil it, you won't see the blue-black because it would have destroyed the iodine solution. Remember when you're doing the starch test, you don't ever boil it, you just add it one time. So the best answer here would have been C. Because when you boil it, well, heat it with Benedict, it will turn red. C.
A. The energy value of food can be compared using the apparatus shown. The same mass of food is burned under each of the 4 tubes containing water? In which tube would the temperature of water rise the most?
So anytime you have fat and you burn fat, you're getting most energy. Well, apart from sugar, I'm seeing sugar as well here, and the same amount. All right, so the one with the most energy would have been sugar. So C. And if it didn't have sugar, fat would have been the next option.
Nine. What are calcium ions used for in the body?
D.
Something with bones. Let me see.
D.
Muscle contraction and blood clotting. Yes, we need calcium to form a blood clot. So D. All right, so last one for Bala, number 10.
10. Which condition is most likely to develop if a teenager's daily diet contained sufficient quantities of protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamin C and D, and calcium, but an inefficient quantity of another nutrient?
A.
So we have sufficient quantities of protein, fat, carbohydrate, vitamin, calcium, but insufficient quantity of another nutrient. Well, you're not getting rickets because you have vitamin D. You won't get weight loss because you have protein, fats, and carbohydrate, but I'm not seeing iron. Iron is responsible for preventing anemia. Vitamin C prevents...
I have A.
Yes, so
as
A.
well.
Good. So next reader.
Number 11. Scraping were taken from the teeth of 4 students 1 hour after the following activity. The scraping are spread evenly over the surface of hard plate and incubated, which archer plate contains scraping from student 4.
Sorry, are you watching TV or?
Promise.
I hear not TV in the background. That's okay. All right, so scrapings were taken from the teeth of 4 students, which agar plate contains the scraping from student 4. Okay, so let's see. Student 4, they say they eating a cake. So what do you all think? Would it have bacteria? Would it not have bacteria?
It's either D or C.
D, because cake has a lot of sugar and bacteria love sugar. So 11 is D. Bacteria don't really like apples, all right? So the best answer is D.
And number 12. A student eats a bread roll. Why does the saliva amylase stop working in the stomach?
All right, so amylase requires an alkaline condition to work. Stomach is acidic.
So C.
So let's see. Amylase cannot work in acidic conditions. Yeah, see. These are questions. Once you're getting hang of it, it actually make you think more than the CSEC. Sorrenta.
Number 13. The diagram shows some organ found in the abdomen that is caused by a blockage in X.
So X is the bile duct. So if that cut off, or blocked, sorry, you're not getting bile. Right, so let's see. What is caused by blockage? A, increased glycogen in the liver. B, increased pancreatic juice in the pancreas. C, reduced blood supply to the liver. D. Okay, I now realize D. This is what you call a hepatic portal vein then. So if this is blocked off, you are reducing blood supply to the liver. C.
Number 14. A diagram shows 4 parts of human blood. Which parts are involved with the transport of carbon dioxide and which part with the destruction of bacteria?
Okay, so definitely we need the white blood cells. So this is the lymphocyte because of the large round nucleus. This is the phagocyte because of the lobe nucleus. So 2 and 4 is definitely for destruction of bacteria. And let's see, 1 and 3, yes, fluid, this is plasma and red blood cell, which helps to transport carbon dioxide. B.
Number 15. The diagram shows a section through the heart and its associated blood vessel, which is a pulmonary artery.
This is the same diagram from the last paper, but they're asking for the pulmonary artery now. So that would have been B, yeah. Very good.
Number 16. The arteries differ from vein because all arteries
carry blood.
D.
Not all artery carries oxygenated blood. There's an exception. There's one artery that has carried the oxygenated blood. I'll forget. Remember, the pulmonary artery has carried the oxygenated blood, so we can't say this. We can never say this as a strong statement. So we have to say all arteries has carry blood away from the heart. That's true.
Number 17. The diagram shows a section of 2 tubes, X and Y, which pass through the thorax. What are the tubes X and Y?
B.
All right. Didn't hear you.
B. As in boy.
B as in boy. X. So we have cartilage, we have muscle. All right, so let's see. This is definitely looking like the Y is looking like the trachea. And the tube that is behind of that is where food enters, which is narrow. So that's X. All right, so B.
The diagram shows a section through an alveolus and a blood vessel capillary. What is diffusing in the direction shown by the arrows?
Okay, so it's leaving the alveolus, entering the blood capillary. So if you're leaving, which gas enters the red blood cell?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Very good. C. One person answering and the rest, I don't know.
Number 19. Which process does not require a supply of energy?
A. Active transport.
C. Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me just explain. Now we learn 3 different transport processes. Diffusion, osmosis, active transport. Cell division, diffusion, obviously using your muscle, you will need to use energy to do it. The only one that you don't need, this it does not require energy. Okay, sorry. So I mix it up. Active transport need energy. Diffusion and osmosis do not need energy. So yes, the answer is C. So you see those that have does not and is false, which statement is false or not true, big and bold, and they're highlighted in bold. Pay close attention to those kind of questions because those are the tricky ones.
Number 20. How are bone and cartilage similar?
See, they both contain living cells. Bone is made up of cells, cartilage is also made up of cells. You all remember what part in the blood, in the bone produces the red blood cell?
Bone marrow.
The bone marrow. Very good. Okay, so next reader, thanks a lot, Saranta.
The diagram shows the bones of the arm with the points of muscles attachment labeled RST and U. What are origin and insertion points of the muscles used to bend the arm at the elbow?
All right, so origin is always on the top, insertion is always at the bottom. So they say, what are the origin and insertion points of the muscle used to bend the arm? So if you look on top here, U is origin, and so I'm looking for U and T. That's the yeah, that's the line up there. B.
The diagram shows a capillary network near the surface of the skin. What happens if muscle X relaxes?
All right, so if it relaxes, it's actually going to get, the muscle itself is going to get flat. So let's see, nothing to do with temperature. All right, hold on, actually wait, this is looking like vas. If it relaxes, it gets wider, so like vasodilation. All right, let's see. So if the blood capillary get wide, more blood flows to the surface of the skin, and therefore heat is lost, so the temperature will not increase. A greater heat loss occurs from the body, nothing to do with sweating. Less shiver. Okay, so the answer is B. What they're trying to say is vasodilation. If the muscle here relax, it's going to shrink. It's going to get flat. So here it's going to get wider. So more blood will flow here and more heat is lost. Number 23.
Which change occurs in the liver to lower the blood sugar level? A.
Glucose will convert into glycogen by glucagon. Sorry, insulin. Insulin is the hormone which lowers the blood sugar level. So yes, the answer is A. If it's the opposite now, glycogen to glucose, that's by glucagon. And that's when the blood sugar level is too low, so you need to raise the sugar level.
Which statement is true of all sense organs?
All right, so all sense organs, that's skin, eye, ear, nose, tongue, they all generate nerve impulses. See? They receive, remember they receive this, they are sensing changes in the environment. So they are what you call receptors which receive stimulus. And when they receive a stimulus, they are automatically going to generate a nervous impulse to send that message throughout the body to get an appropriate response.
25. How does a nerve impulse travel across a synapse?
C.
C, diffusion of a chemical. And what is the name of the chemical? There's a name.
Rematter.
Neurotransmitters.
Yeah. So basically, that is a chemical which will jump across the gap, diffuse through that space, and land on the next nerve cell.
26. What is the first effect of drinking alcohol? E.
D.
First effect, eh? So it's not like the liver cells just going and destroy one.
B.
Blood vessels of skin constrict, body temperature rises several degrees. The rate of transmission of impulses slow down. Remember, that's what you call a depressant. It slows down the body. So D for dog. If they had, say, a long-term effect, the answer would have been E.
The diagram shows a 28-day menstrual cycle of a human female, during which part of the cycle is ovulation most likely to happen.
C. Day 14.
Day 14, correct? C.
The diagram shows part of the male reproductive system and urinary system. A cut is made at X on both sides of the body and the tubes are sealed. Which process would be prevented? A.
Fertilization, because if you cut this, that is vasectomy. So therefore, no sperm cell is going to be transported out. So you're preventing fertilization. Very good.
The diagram shows the genetic makeup of two parents and their 4 children. A represents the allele for normal pigmentation, and A represents the allele for lack of pigmentation. Bracket
All right, so we have a
albino.
test score.
Which of the children are albinos, carriers, or normal?
B. B as in boy.
B as in boy. Why not B as in bat?
B as in
B as in butter.
All right, anyways. Albinos. So it will be the 2 recessive form. Let me see. Which are the children albinos? So 4 is albino. Let me see. 4 is albino. 3 is a carrier. 2 and 3 is carriers. Let me see. Carrier. And then the normal person is big A. Normal. That is 1. You all seen this, right? Big A represent normal. Small a represent albino. Just
I mixed that up.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Now, although they write small a in front here, that don't mean they are albino, you know. Big A it will always be dominant over the small a. So this person is a carrier. So D for dog.
Number 30, why is tuberculosis common throughout the world?
Let's see.
Many people live in overcrowded conditions and are easily infected throughout the world. Not everybody living in an overcrowded condition.
Mrs. Kabidi.
A. Bacteria are not killed by antibiotics. Yeah, bacteria is killed by antibiotics. But this bacteria, this
Yes, what
type
about
of
B?
disease, bacteria, can live in all kinds of
A.
climates. Warm, cold. So A is the best. Yeah, A. Now I can see why you all choose C, but you have to think of there are areas in poor countries that very dismal. When I say dismal, you have a neighbor here and you have a neighbor quite down the road, and still it have tuberculosis. And then you have places like China, the streets crowded, still have. Now the point is this bacteria, why it's so common is because it can live in different climates, tropical and temperate. Now it cannot phase off. We're not hearing nobody. Right now the big thing is corona. And what they're saying, they don't know corona can live in now it's spring in America and it living there. It living. Now during January and the colder times it was still living. So it kind of showing signs that it can live in different climates, which is making it so bad for them to eradicate it. You all understand? All right, so Reagan said that her mic isn't working. So who wants to volunteer? I have not heard from Nathan in a very long time. And he has a mic. Well, I don't know if it's somebody pretending to be Nathan. Mic is not working, all right. So why, okay. I think your other mic is, all you have to go in setting. Sanjay might be able to get it. All you all have to do is basically check out. You all know you could do a test to see if your mic working.
Yes. Miss,
Yeah.
my really is working because yesterday he was playing and his mic cut off.
Your mic's off. I barely heard what you said. Anybody heard what Sanjay said? And could translate, please? I really didn't hear what he said. Emily, you sitting close to him. Tell me what he said.
He was saying he was trying to play a game with Nathan yesterday and his mic really wasn't working.
Oh, okay. All right then. And why are they playing games during this time? Sanjay? Anyways, Shalanda. Can you read the next 10 questions? Oh, I had to get the game show music. I shall bring my phone, you know. Who wants to read? Nobody? All right, well then we would just stay at the screen. Until
Miss, I will read again.
No, you give yourself a break. Let me hear from somebody.
Miss, I could read.
But you just read. Mom to mama do on them. Bala, where's Mamadou? I know you're sitting next to him. All right, well, we want to finish class in a timely manner. We need to go on a break as well. So, okay. Go ahead, Kashida, you can finish it off.
31. What advice given to the mothers who are HIV positive may best help reduce the spread of HIV, human immunodeficiency virus? A.
Do not breastfeed your baby. Very good.
32. What are the signs and symptoms of gonorrhea?
Discharge from the urethra.
C.
Nausea, fever and vomiting. Not really. You get a pus discharge. Also, you get itching and burning when urinating.
So D.
D is the best answer there.
33. The table shows the occurrence of certain diseases in 4 different regions. Which region is likely to have poor facilities for the disposal of sewage?
Region C.
All right, so we have plenty typhoid. We have some ringworm. We have some. What's this one? Hold on, let me see.
Malaria and lung cancer.
Lung cancer, no. Malaria, not for sewage. Ringworm, it could kind of be for sewage too, because it have fungus too. But the best answer would have been typhoid.
Region C.
Because of the bacteria from the feces and stuff. So the
Region C.
C, yeah.
So before meat broth was sterilized in a pressure cooker. Which graph shows the number of microorganisms in the broth from start to complete sterilization?
Okay, so high heat. Let's see. Number of microorganisms supposed to decline or drop. So the best answer is B.
C.
Yes. Yes, C is the better answer. It's not supposed to increase and then decrease. It's supposed to just drop one time, slowly. C. 35, and after 35, Sophia will read.
Why are mosquitoes a danger to humans? Let's see.
They pierce the skin and may introduce pathogens
Pathogen.
blood.
Blood.
That is, now they are what you call a vector. They carry disease, they carry pathogens. So this is a close answer to, they live in dirty places and carry microorganisms in their body. But obviously we know that it is drink blood. So when they pierce in the skin, that is how they cause a disease, because they introduce any pathogen that live in their body to your body. Okay, thanks a lot. Next reader, and then we'll go.
36. Which shows how active, passive, and artificial immunity are obtained?
C.
Active by injecting antibodies, yeah. Passive is not vaccination. So let's see. Okay, so active is vaccination. Passive by being infected, right? Your own body creating it. Artificial by injecting antibodies. Let me see what you all have. B? No, how B is the answer? Okay, so by being infected, yes, for active. By injecting, anytime you're injecting something, it will never be passive. Passive is your own body making antibodies. So if you inject in antibodies, you're getting it from, you see how, okay, I actually mixing it up. Passive is when you receive from a different person. All right, so you could inject it, yeah. Active is your own body creating white blood cells. So yes, by being infected, and artificial by vaccination, yeah. So let me read back this. Active. Okay, so this is an artificial product. Yes, so B is the answer. Very easy to confuse that. Active is your own body making white blood cells. So obviously if you get infected, your own body will make it. Passive is from a different source. So you're getting antibodies from your mother, you're getting it from in an injection. Artificial is a man-made product, which is a vaccine. So B is the answer.
The map of a small town shows 4 housing blocks, each with 4 latrines. At which housing block are the pit latrines best sited?
B.
Okay, so let's look at the key. We have the black dots at the pit latrine. We have the well. We have the house. So let's see. We have 2 wells here. This well is far away from the latrine, which is good. Refuse disposal site. We gotta study this good, eh? Factory is close by here. Go check latrine here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 well. Then you have a river flowing. So all the discharge might come down here. River flowing here. Okay, yes. B, because the water is flowing downwards here. So all the runoff and stuff from the latrine will flow out, but not into B, because this is going up a hill. And you have a good space from the well. Your drinking water is away from the latrine. So the best answer here is B. Study it good. Eh? Look at the river. Anytime you have river, the water just flow. And that could carry that sewage along the river itself.
The bacteria present in samples of water taken from a shallow well and for a borehole were investigated. 1 drop of fresh water and 1 drop of boiled water from each water source was spread over the surface of sterile nutrient agar in separate Petri dishes. The dishes were incubated for 3 days. Which set of diagrams shows the expected?
Okay, so let's study this again. Now you have bacteria present in samples of water, 1 taken from a well, 1 from a borehole. I have to ask you, what is a borehole? That is what? A kind of river or something? Let me see. Borehole. A deep, narrow hole made in the ground, especially to look for water or oil. That's what a borehole is. So it's a deep hole in the ground. All right. So One is from shallow well and one is from a deep hole. All right. 1 drop of fresh water and 1 drop of boiled water from each water source was spread over the surface of sterile nutrient agar. So you have 1 drop of fresh water, 1 drop of boiled water. So you boil the water from the shallow well, you boil the water from the borehole. All right, and then you drop it now and separate. Okay, so let me see. Shallow well, fresh water. You have some bacteria here. Borehole, fresh water, bacteria. Shallow well, boiled water, plenty bacteria. Borehole. Now, obviously, the boiled water will have no bacteria because they kill it. So let's see these blank. So let's see. This one blank, this one blank. Borehole, freshwater have bacteria. Shallow well, freshwater has less bacteria. Now, the question you had to ask is, will a shallow well contain more bacteria than a deeper hole in the ground that has water? What you all think?
I think the shallow well have more bacteria.
I would say the shallow well also have plenty of bacteria. You know why? Because bacteria like air, they need oxygen and stuff. If they're too deep in a hole, they won't get enough oxygen because they need to respire. They
So
are
yours
living
is D?
organisms. So the best answer here would have been D. Very tricky. Same thing here.
39. The diagram shows how domestic refuse is treated at a communal site. What is the most important reason for treating the refuse as shown?
D. Remember this question? To restrict entry by rats. Last one.
40. What is an effect of lead pollution?
Lead. Lead is found in paint. So what happens with lead? A burning sensation when passing urine? No. A feeling of tiredness due to anemia? It do give headaches and stuff. Feeling of weak. An increased number of red? No. How could lead cause that? The formation of carboxyhemoglobin? Carbon monoxide is not found in lead, so the answer is B. Very good. A feeling of tiredness due to anemia. Okay, so we just corrected the 2 multiple choice for homework. That was the 2007 paper, 2003. Now we're going on a short break. All right. Now it's 2:22. So we can actually take about 15 minutes, about, let's say about 2. Okay, very good for those who send in the yes, you all use the chat and tell me how much you all got out of 40, please. You counted up all in this one, out of 40. And send me in the chat. Good. All right, so when it's 2:45, we will resume. All right? 2:45. Okay, so we're going to start back in a bit. You all with me? Press 1. If you all are hearing me.
I can hear you, miss.
You all can see the 2017 paper?
Yeah.
All right, so that was the other part of the homework. How many people still have videos to submit today so that I can showcase it on the at the end of the class? Okay, I guess not. I guess nobody else.
Miss, who sent you videos?
I got a compilation from a bunch of students. And I even seen Huda, and he's in it. You know, if you had like a group of students, you all could compile it. Okay, so let's begin January 2017. Any questions so far for me? Everybody have this paper, okay. Table 1 shows data on problems associated with persons who abuse drugs. Table 1, problems associated with persons who abuse drugs, alcohol, tobacco, marijuana. And these are the social issues here. Identify the drug that has the most negative impact on the user. Most negative. So we're looking at high numbers. You all said tobacco. All right, so if you were to add up this compared to marijuana now, I find marijuana values looking larger. Again, you're picking the one that has the most figures, because obviously that would mean that those who use this particular drug will have a lot of these issues here. Marijuana has 160, tobacco only have 55 in total. So the answer is marijuana. And they're gonna legalize it, huh? Imagine that. Next one. 2 drugs that have the greatest impact on users' relationship with friends and family and academic life. 2 drugs. So let's see. Relationship with friends, had issues with family and friends. Tobacco is the highest. And academic life. Academic life, alcohol. Okay, so it will be tobacco and alcohol. Those are the greatest impact on. For this one, relationship with friends and family. For academic life, that would have been missed class. So 29% who uses alcohol had the greatest impact on academic life. All right, next one. Table 2 shows the gender and monthly income of those persons. All right. So gender, male and female, monthly income. Which gender is most likely to engage in substance abuse? Male. So we're seeing 79, 68, 58. Females is 62, 20, 10 less. So the answer is male. Which substance is most likely to be abused by persons from all economic backgrounds? So we're looking for a figure that's close in all of them. Let's see. 73, 31, 15. Okay, so you all said alcohol, because in all economic background, all monthly income, it had the highest figure in alcohol. That's correct. Which income bracket shows the highest levels of drug abuse? Same thing. Oh, income brackets. Okay, so we're looking at the figures now. So if you were to add 73, 31, and 15, this would be the greatest amount of drug abuse. Persons who earn less than 1,600 per month. So less than $1,600. That's a little more than the salary grant. Okay, so see part 1. Portia has been overweight for about 20 years. So just 3 health problems that she could develop as a result of her excess weight. What could happen? Due to excess weight. High blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. Yeah. High blood pressure due to fat forming in artery walls. Heart disease due to plaque forming in coronary artery or in the heart. And then also diabetes, yes, due to high levels of glucose in the diet. The doctor tells Portia that she's suffering from malnutrition. Explain to Portia how it is possible to be overweight and suffering from malnutrition. So malnutrition is when you have too much or too little. So it is possible to be overweight and malnourished due to excessive amounts of nutrients that the body does not need or require. Yes, and also she could have a diet with a lot of fat and sugar, but lacking. Also, her diet may contain a lot of fats and sugar, but hardly any essential vitamins, because you don't get vitamins and minerals from KFC. You might get a little something from the meat, but the way how they prepare that meat, you're not getting adequate amounts. So that's good. 3, the doctor advises Portia to eat more fruits and vegetables. Of what benefit would fruits and vegetables be to her? Well, fruits and vegetables contain vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which will help to balance her diet. Also, it can help lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart diseases. That's also a point. So it's 3 months we're trying to earn. Any questions so far? Number 2 now. Figure 1 is a concept map depicting the process of photosynthesis. You have 1, 2, and 3. You have to follow the arrows here. Complete the concept map by writing the correct labels for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Concept maps are great when you're studying for multiple choice. Each topic, if you could form one, that will help a lot. So 1. So this is how you're reading it. It's starting from the bottom here. Plants have leaves contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. Green pigment uses sunlight together with water and carbon dioxide to make food in the form of glucose. So it's basically photosynthesis in a concept map here. Take it down if you don't have it. I'd like to hear answers from the others as well. Nathan, I'm not hearing from you in the chat. Sorrenta, you're not answering. Alicia, Bala, a lot of you not answering in the chat. Only getting answers from Emily, Sophia, Raphael. All right. Figure 2 shows part of the carbon cycle. At what stage in the cycle does carbon dioxide enter the food chain? So here you can see an arrow going down, and this is the plant taking carbon dioxide. That's the only organism here that's taking in carbon dioxide. So photosynthesis. At what stage in the carbon cycle are humans having a major effect on the carbon cycle? Now humans, as you know, they run oil refineries, and when they combust the oil, meaning it burning the oil, they're releasing carbon dioxide gas back into the air. So this is the major effect that humans are having. So it's combustion. You have to choose the processes for this. When they say stage, they mean the process. Chat very, very quiet. C, part 1. Farmer Singh wants to improve the nitrogen content of his farmland. Suggest 2 reasons why it is important for plants to have adequate amounts of nitrogen. Why plants need nitrogen? What do plants use nitrogen for? I get no answers, so I just go and wait. Alright, so I get 1 so far. Plants use nitrogen to make protein. One more. Like I gotta get the music now, yes? Let me get that song. Okay, so let me help. Plants use nitrogen to grow. I'd like a reader, please, for part 2.
Name 2 types of bacteria which provide nitrogen when present in soils.
Right. Two types of bacteria which provide nitrogen. Right, so let me get my Jeopardy song out. And we do the nitrogen cycle last week, you know. I actually went through that cycle with you all. I don't want all the Google and data, like getting hard, long kind of things. Two types of bacteria which provide nitrogen when present in the soil would be nitrogen fixing bacteria and nitrifying bacteria. That's all. I don't know, it's so hard. That question was so hard. If that comes for your test now. D. Next reader. Can someone unmute their mic and read the question, please?
Farmer Singh's garden borders a river. He is concerned that his farming activities will result in pollution of the river. Suggest 3 pollutants that may run off from the garden into the river. Must I have fertilizer, pesticides, and soil?
Pesticide.
And soil?
And soil, yeah. Let me see what else you can apply. Fertilizer. Yes, soil. Or manure. Remember, manure contains feces. So feces is something bad when it enters the water. All right, so we'll work with these 3. Part 2.
Outline 2 effects of the pollutants on living organisms.
All right, well, with the fertilizer, I will help you all out. It can cause eutrophication. There is plenty algae growing on the water. And so, an abundance of algae growing on the surface of water due to the fertilizer runoff. What is something else? If you're talking about a pesticide, how could that? What is the effect of pesticide?
Miss, it could disrupt the natural food chain.
It could disrupt the natural food chain and poison. Remember, pesticides kill pests. So it could poison aquatic plants and animals. Right? Pesticides could kill animals and plants. Number 3, somebody else. Anybody else?
Bones is a living tissue. One of its functions is to protect the internal organs. State one function of bone other than the protection of internal organs.
All right. So what does the bone do? Support the body, right? You could say produce red blood cells, store calcium and phosphate. All kind of things you could say. State two functions of the human vertebral column. Why do we need our backbone?
Protection of the spinal cord.
Protects the spinal cord.
Miss, and I have and to transmit body weight in walking and standing.
Yeah, and what about posture? Because without the backbone, how will we sit upright? How will we stand? So it helps with posture. Table 3 shows information on bone and cartilage. Complete table 3 by writing the correct answers. So bone, cartilage. Where are cartilage found?
In many areas of the body.
But where? You have to say between, oh no, sorry, you have to say at the tip of bones. Remember that is prevent friction, so it's found at the edges or the tips of the bones. You can even say nose tip, just, you know, in case, ear lobe, and in the trachea. The trachea have rings of cartilage. So I just add, you didn't have to write all, I just add in some other answers as well. In between bone is also one, yeah. So structure of the bone now. So you have to say bone is composed, sorry, we don't have to write all of this. Contains cells. What, okay, you all can actually Google something like that. Tell me a good answer. Okay, so cells within a mineralized matrix which consists, well, first to begin, it's inflexible. Made of calcium phosphate. All right, so I just give you a long answer here. Right? What's the function of cartilage?
Connect bones together.
That is ligament. Ligament connect bone to bone. Cartilage prevents friction. Prevents. So when bone rub against each other, it causes friction. But since we have this at the between the bone, it acts like a cushion. All right, so take it down. Patsy. Let's hear from Hawa. Hawa, quiet today.
Yes, miss. Sorry, I was in the kitchen. Hello?
See?
Doing a football match. Jade, what's his last name? Kyle?
Puyol.
polio, twisted his ankle, falls, and injures his knee, which later becomes swollen. 1. Identify the type of joint that is found in the knee region and describe the movement associated with the type of joint. Oh, my God.
What joint is found in the knee?
Miss, I put hinge. I don't know if it's correct.
Hinge is found in knee and elbow. All it is, these are things that all I know. And what kind of movement the hinge joint does make? Movement in one plane. Ball and socket is movement in all planes.
Okay.
Part 2, go ahead. Same person,
Several days later, Polio's hip is extremely painful. Describe the difference in terms of movement between the joints in the hip region and the joint difference in the bone of the skull.
Okay, so this is something you ought to read over in your head too. So if you have these kind of questions in the exam, you realize it's not, like these here, straight to the point. Yeah, okay. Describe the difference in terms of movement between the joint and the hip. Now, first you had to ask yourself, what is that joint called? And then, was the joint called between the bones of the skull? So, the joint at the hip is a ball and socket joint, which is a movable type of joint. The joint, however, between the bones of the skull is non-movable. All right, so that's the answer. It could say immovable, sorry. Instead of non-movable, but immovable, which means cannot move. So that's the difference there in movement. Lack of vitamin D results in bone disease in children. This disease results in bone being unable to become hard, and as a result, the limbs become bent. Explain why vitamin D is necessary for proper bone formation, and name a disease that occurs as a result of its deficiency. All right, so I'm seeing vitamin D is necessary because without it, our bones will get weak, and also our bodies will cannot absorb calcium, which, yes. So Sophia's answer is correct. Sorry?
Osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis is the name of the disease. Or you could also say rickets. All right, so lack of vitamin D could lead to rickets. Next one, large intakes of carbonated beverages have an effect on bone similar to that caused by vitamin D deficiency suggests which mineral is most likely being lost from the bone. So large intakes of carbonated beverage have effect on bone, suggests which mineral is most likely. So a mineral is either calcium, those kind of things. All right, so calcium is the mineral that is most likely lacking. Any questions over? All right, number 4. Who reading? Emily, can you read this question?
Some nerves are considered sensory and others motor. Distinguish between the following terms, nerves and neurons.
All right, so nerves are cells, whereas neurons are nerve tissue made up of nerve cells. That's the difference. Sensory and motor neuron. What's the difference there?
Miss, sensory neurons send information to the brains while motor neurons tell muscles to contract.
It cut off a bit for a little second there. All right, so we're back on track. What is the difference with sensory and motor? Okay, so sensory receives a nervous impulse from who? Receptor cells, and transmit the impulse to the relay neuron. What the motor does do now? Motor neuron receives nervous impulse from the relay neuron, which is sending the impulse to the effector. That's the answer there. Part 2. Come on, we need to wake up a little bit. Someone to read this question.
Identify the term used to describe the area where two neurons meet and the chemical used to convey an electrical signal from one cell to another.
So synapse would be when two neurons meet. You have that gap between them. That is carry the message across is neurotransmitter. All right.
Mariah reaches out to pick a beautiful rose. Her thumb is pricked by a thorn and she instantly releases the plant. Suggest the type of reflex action, spinal or cranial, that caused her to release the plant and briefly outline the 4 steps involved in a reflex action. Type of reflex action, spinal reflex.
Right. So obviously, if she picked the rose, dropped it, that's what you call spinal reflex. Okay, sorry about that, you all. It had some technical problems there. So let me just get back to the screen so we could just finish this paper and round up this class, all right? Right, so this, again, if you're not hearing, let me know, right? So stimulus is pain that is picked up by receptor of a thumb. The sensory neuron sends this message to the relay neuron, which sends it to the spinal cord. A response message is then sent to the motor neuron, which is then transmitted to the effector. In this case, the effector is the bicep muscles, which contract, and tricep, which relax, to allow the hand to move away from the rows. Full stop. Look how detailed my answer is. Take it down if you don't have it. Can you all hear me?
Yes, miss.
All right. I want you all to get in the hang of writing these kind of answers. Notice it's these short sentences. And in that way, I could have all the points flowing. Some of you all just have like the basics, the basic part of the answer, but you need to expand on it for 5 marks. All right. Unlike the nervous system, the endocrine system uses hormones to coordinate actions in the human body. Maria's period has just ended. Name the 2 pituitary hormones that will be released within the next 16 days and explain to Maria one function of each. So remember with the menstrual cycle, so after a period, which is 5 days, FSH is going to increase. So that's follicle stimulating hormone. What's the function of this hormone? It allows a primary follicle in the ovary to develop and mature. So it's preparing it to become fertilized, in other words. Our next hormone, right, that is going to increase will be estrogen. However, estrogen is not in the, now they say pituitary hormones. So I can't put estrogen here. Why? Because estrogen is not a pituitary hormone. However, luteinizing hormone is one. The function of luteinizing hormone is it allows a mature egg to leave the ovary and enter the oviduct. This is known as ovulation, right? So these are the 2 pituitary hormones, FSH and LH. Not estrogen, not progesterone. Those 2 hormones are in the ovary itself. These 2 are secreted from the pituitary gland. Okay, part B now. So you all see any question? We could have atherosclerosis. That is one cardiovascular disease. Or you could have coronary heart. Well, actually, I should say coronary thrombosis. Right. How did disease develop? All right, so let's start off with a meal. A diet which contains large amounts of fat and cholesterol can cause fatty deposits to store in the walls of arteries. This causes the diameter of the artery to get narrow. This can lead to high blood pressure. Blood flowing in narrow or clogged arteries can cause the blood vessel wall to rupture. Because if blood flowing fast, it could damage the wall. This can now lead into a blood clot forming inside the wall of the artery. This will also narrow and restrict blood from flowing freely, which can lead to heart attack. Full stop. All right, 6 marks, eh? So you could feel free to add in a little more point if you find any. Step by step. So you talk about the diet, what the diet contain, what the diet could cause, what that leads into, and how it causes heart disease. And these two diseases are linked. You can have both of them together. This one could, atherosclerosis could cause coronary thrombosis. Last question. Oh, sorry, B. Arita, please.
Peter is obese and has developed type 2 diabetes. His doctors say that even though his body is producing insulin, the insulin receptor are resident to insulin. Suggest 2 signs or symptoms that Peter may be experiencing and 2 ways that Peter could manage the disease.
All right. So what are signs and symptoms of type 2 diabetes?
Frequent urination and increased thirst.
Yes, frequent urination, increased thirst, dryness of the mouth, paleness of the skin, numbing of the fingers, feeling weak. All right. 2 ways that Peter can manage the disease now. How can you manage diabetes?
Engage in physical activity.
Engage in physical activities. Right, and also lower the amount of sugar and fats, well, sugar mostly, amount of sugar in the diet. Eat foods with less starch, carbohydrates. So you have to eat more whole grains, wheat, foods that contain a little amount of sugar. C. Table 4 shows the percentage of persons with 3 age groups who smoke and are obese. Smoking and obesity both increase the risk of heart attack. Alright, so obese. Study the information table 4 and identify the age group that has the greatest risk for developing a heart attack. Which age group? Which one have the highest figure? 35 to 44.
Okay.
And discuss how smoking can increase the risk of, right, so you have atherosclerosis and you have arteriosclerosis. So cigarette smoke contains nicotine. Nicotine is the drug which hardens and causes the heart rate to increase. When the walls of the artery in the heart becomes hard and blood is being pumped at a high pressure, it can rupture or damage the heart, causing heart attack. Right? So that's the answer there. Feel free to state your answers as well, if you want to add to anything. All right, next one. Look at how much lines to it. So you could actually include a lot more to this. Last one, right? Number 6.
The accumulation of garbage poses a major threat to the environment. Governments are having challenges finding ways to reduce the amount of garbage generated. Landfills are currently being used. State one advantage and two disadvantages associated with the use of landfills.
Okay, so what is an advantage of using a landfill?
Miss, I have landfills can use the waste generated in a city, town, or district and produce energy.
It could produce energy, yeah. When you collect the methane gas, yeah. Now, isn't it better to have garbage in one location than in many locations? It kind of preventing the spread of pests and rodents. type and can you all see my screen?
Yes, miss.
All right, because I don't know, it's real crashing. Somehow, I don't know if it was upgrading it because it actually changed. The whole look of it changed. So let me see. You all got the, okay, so this is the disadvantages here. Lord, last class is all kind of thunder, yes? All right, I'm gonna move fast. So this is the disadvantages. 3 difference between a dump and a landfill. All right. So landfill. So landfill is a designated area for storing solid waste. Dumping is done in multiple areas in a community. Landfill sites are legal, whereas Right, so this is 1, 2, and 3 difference. Right? C. Name and explain three measures which could be used to control the volume of solid waste in your community. So that's the 3 R's. Recycle, turn a old Right, so this is the answer for the last one here, C. You just basically explain reduce, recycle, and reuse. Hope you all see in it. Next one. Alright, so now we come to the end. Now I have a video presentation which was made by Sophia as well as other classmates, as well as students from other schools who actually partake in the video that I asked. Basically explaining why what you learn from HSB, what you like about the subject. So let me get the video for you all. Some people didn't say nothing, so I guess they just, I don't know, busy with studying or don't have any kind of video editing app.
Yes, why you want us to do in your
Sorry?
you want us to do in your treatment?
I didn't hear what they say.
What do you want us to do in your video?
Emily, you could just, his mic is breaking up.
Miss, he had just asked what exactly you had wanted us to do in the video.
Just make a video basically of anything. Anything about HSV, what you learn, what you like, your feelings and thoughts.